Welcome. Thank you. Sandi has been a top team leader, a top coach worldwide. And so, Sandi, I'd love you to share a little bit about yourself, and let's just jump in to the content.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Tom. I am so excited to be here. And this is a topic near and dear to my heart. My past, I've owned businesses. I've launched them from conception and sold them, not big multi-million dollar businesses like you see on TV, but small mom and pop kind of shops. I've had boutiques, video production company, tanning salon. I've launched a lot of stuff. And so I'm accustomed to overcoming objections and obstacles. That's kind of my forte. I got into real estate back in 2010 in Amarillo, Texas, and was Rookie of the Year, then went on to lead a couple of the top real estate firms in Oklahoma and one in Iowa, and have coached some of the top agents in each state. And you did say internationally. Yeah, I've had clients internationally. Along the way, I've done things that I never had ideas of doing before. They just kind of fell into my lap. And so I jumped on them. I expanded my thinking. And that's what I want to challenge you guys today. For me, that meant getting my John Maxwell certification, getting my certification from Success Coaching. And it's just continuing to unfold and become more than I really ever dreamed 10 years ago. So with that being said, I have a quick question for anyone that wants to participate. And you can pop this in the chat. So today's topic is how to make this your best year ever. And I want to know, what do you want? What do you want out of today's class? I mean, are you showing up because you get brownie points? Or are you showing up because you really do want to make a change? Now, if you're like I was about almost 14 years ago, I was sitting in a class, and I'll never forget, Sean Kokoska was very influential in my life at that time because I was watching from afar. He was a coach, and I was sitting in a class, and I was seeing all these people around me be successful and make money. And quite frankly, I didn't have two dimes to rub together. I was broke, and I was sick and tired of being broke. I have a college degree. Why am I continually in this position? And you know what I discovered through a process was that it was all what was going on between my ears. And I didn't have a plan to become successful. And what Sean did for me in my coaching group was help me lay out my own plan. We don't argue with our own ideas. And so as I discovered what I really wanted and why I wanted it, then I had the commitment and the passion to execute these plans. So if you guys have questions you want to ask along the way, feel free to pop it in the chat. In the meantime, I just want to get started. And I want to tell you again, guys, thank you so much for showing up. We have a limited amount of time, and so I'm going to pour into you as much as I possibly can to help you make this your best year ever. You see, we all want to live a life that matters, a significant life, a successful life, but it doesn't just happen accidentally. It happens intentionally, and it takes a lot of work. Now, my goal today, even though we don't have a lot of time together, is to offer a pathway with some resources and reasons why living intentionally is the best thing you could ever do for yourself and for others. Now, I plan to give you as much value as possible in a short time frame, and we're going to cover some ideas that, if applied, keywords, if applied, can start you on a journey to living a life of significance. Now, quick request, turn on your cameras. I don't care if you're sitting in your jammies on your couch. I don't care. I need your participation. It helps me, and it helps the others get involved. I miss the in-person classes, but man, I wouldn't turn down the Zoom calls for $1 million. Well, I don't know. Maybe you got to think about that one. But anyway, it helps all of us to feed off of each other. So thank you for your participation. The other thing I want you to do is get an actual pen or pencil and pad. I take a lot of notes on my computer and on my iPhone. However, there's not the strongest memory is not as strong as your faintest ink. We do a lot of processing when we actually write. That's why journaling is so important. So I want you to write down key words that you learned today or thoughts that you have along the way. I want you to write down questions. We'll have Q&A at the end of the session. And I also want you to feel free to jump in there and type something in the notes on the chat box. And Tom, or I think it's Eric, if you guys want to bring those to my attention as I'm going along, because I won't be monitoring that yet. But if you have something you want to bring to my attention, man, go right ahead. So let's get down to business and talk about how to have your best year ever. So I have a question. I have some information I want to share with you. So why do 3% of Harvard MBAs make 10 times as much as the other 97 combined? That's staggering, isn't it? So the answer is really in a simple question. Have you set clear? Go ahead, say that again. Staggering.
You need to pay your cell phone, or you said already.
So the answer is in a simple question. And have you set clear written goals for your future and made plans to accomplish them? Now, this goes way back to 1979. There were some interviewers that asked the graduates from Harvard's MBA program, and this is what they found. 84% had no specific goals at all. You would think at this level, in this kind of a university, that wouldn't exist, but it did. 84% had no written goals at all. 13% had goals that were in their mind, but they just hadn't really committed to paper. They didn't write them down. Only 3% had clear written goals and plans to accomplish them. Very key information. Now, fast forward 10 years to 1989, the interviewers again interviewed those graduates of that class, and guess what they found? 13% of the class who had goals were earning, on average, twice as much as the 84% who had no goals at all. Now, even more staggering is this. The 3% who had written goals and had a plan to execute them were making, on average, 10 times as much as the other 97% put together. For my fact checkers out there, because I know you're there, this is from the book, What They Don't Teach You in Harvard Business School by Mark McCormick. So I want you to think about that. And I think we all get into this business, or we launch a new business, or we start a new project, and we have no plan. We just kind of wing it, or we just don't define things because we're good. So many of us are used to being able to accomplish whatever we want. We know that if we try hard enough, if we just try hard enough, it's going to happen. But what I want to challenge you is to think about what your limiting beliefs might be. How much bigger, how much better can your life be if you just commit to writing a plan? Now, I said bigger. That doesn't necessarily mean you're in a phase of life where you want more business, you want a bigger home, or you want a bigger car. Maybe you're slowing down. So a better life as a whole. Okay. So, everybody grab your pen and paper. I have a little exercise for you. And here's where I want you to start. I want you to write down 5 things that need to happen for you over the next year that would make this your best life ever. I'm going to give you just a minute. I'm going to watch the time. So go. 5 things that need to happen in 2024 before January 1 to make this the best year ever. You have the power to do this. Think about what your life will look like. If you knew that you couldn't fail, what would you do? What would you dream of doing and accomplishing or having? I want you to dream. Think about that thing that's just right here, that it's like, for some of us, it can get emotional. And it's like, I don't even want to go there because it hurts not having it, or I don't want to talk about it. There's energy in that feeling. So who wants to share? Just a couple of things. You can put it in the chat box or unmute yourself and tell me what it is that's important to you.
I've got 5.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm going to continue to train for sports or for triathlons like I have over the past year. Just continue on the same path and not give up. prospect 10 hours a week, create content 5 days a week, eat with intention, and do something fun with my family, something different and fun once a month.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And is it Patrick?
Yeah.
Is that right? I love, Patrick, what you said that involved your family, it involves business, and you got pretty specific. Do you think you could get more specific about some of those?
Yeah, I've got it dialed down. I mean, I guess you could ask me one specific, I'm not going all five, but.
So, and now is this stuff that you just came up with, or do you already have a written goal for all of
I have
these?
written goals. It's all it's stuff that's ongoing.
Okay.
It gets re-upped at the new year, but I don't wait for the new year to keep the things going.
How often do you look at those goals?
Weekly.
Weekly? Fantastic. Do you have a measuring stick? Like,
Yeah,
do you have
I have a bunch of spreadsheets.
Spreadsheets. I'm not a spreadsheet girl.
My bigger issue is I get caught in the spreadsheet. So it's the reminder to take action and stop planning. That's probably the bigger thing for me.
You can get stuck in that minutia.
I can plan forever.
Say that again.
I can plan consistent. I waste time doing planning.
Now, do you have someone holding you accountable?
I have. That's probably what I need more than I need to plan.
Good awareness. Very good awareness. I love that you have self-awareness. Okay, who else? I see 3 new daily core habits.
All right. Well, I've got goals written last year. Like my number one goal was to own the mountain, and I wanted to be number one in market share in my backwoods. That kind of changed, but I got about 30% of my goals. I got a new car, investment. My real goals this year is I want to get into a development deal I've been pursuing, right? Because that's going to fund me to get into residual, get in rental properties. I want to get a trailer park. That's my long-term goal, which is on my other long-term goals. So 5 to 10 year plan, but they're kind of connected. So it's interesting. I have them printed out. Maybe I look at it once a week. I have it printed out to carry it in my binder, but I don't stare at it all the time.
Gotcha. Thank you for sharing. Thank both of you for sharing.
Yeah.
And good luck to you both. I know you can do it with the right plan behind you.
Well,
okay.
I just want to ask you, as we make it interactive. So it's great to put the intention out there. You ask everybody and they're like, yeah, I want $1 million, right? Or just the numbers. But, when you deal with, we do all these calls for knowledge, and it's get after listings, get the 5 Ds, death, divorce, diapers, dividends. I'm learning, I'm there. But then, literally this month, I had somebody call me, they need to sell, and they're suicidal. Another one was a domestic violence, and they got a divorce. And so it's super ugly, and I get super deep with my clients, and that takes a ton of time and energy. It's extremely draining. So 3 deals, 4 deals, 5 deals. I'm just saying, you juggle that stuff. So it's very easy. This is where I'm going to just push back a little. It's very easy to say, let's your goal. We want to sell 25 houses. I'd love to sell 50 houses this year. But then the practicality, because I am an active, hardworking agent. And so I wake up and how do I get the energy? Because I'm depleted. And then sometimes it's depressing because your measuring stick is well, I said I was going to get 30 deals this year and I did 10. It's where do you get the energy? So it's easy to say. And so I appreciate you pouring into us. And I just want to be real with you on this. How do we muster that up when, practicality and reality comes in?
I love your authenticity. You are absolutely right. And okay, and we're going to touch on this. We're going to expand on some tools that can help you find a little more balance, because it sounds like, you've got the ideas, you're ready to execute. However, it's creating that intentional life with balance. How do I do this? How do I juggle everything? Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. How do I juggle everything? And then, it's I go at it and I swing at it every day, sometimes hard, 8, 10, 12 hours a day or something like that. But then results aren't there. And it's not necessarily my fault. I'm not working hard enough. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So it's I need to wake up, because it's some of these days, it's I love what I do and I love connecting, but some of it's not bringing me happiness, joy. Grinding away is not getting me closer to my happiness,
Yes. And that's where I want to challenge you, Eric. I'm going to challenge you about looking at your personal goals. Okay. Now we're going to break this down. And honestly, thank you so much for your transparency. That helps us all. Okay. I'm going to move through and then let's talk some more in just a little bit. Okay. Okay. Now I wanted to ask all of you guys, think about this. Who is helping you along the way? Who knows what you want to accomplish and who's helping you or holding you capable? Where's your accountability? And like these gentlemen have shared, there's so many areas that we can explore. If you're having trouble figuring out where to start or where to put your energy, that's where you need to understand the value in group collaboration or one-on-one collaboration. So I want to share this with you. Stephen R. Covey says this: all things are created twice. First mentally and then physically. Take this, for example. So in order to construct a home, you have to have the idea, I want to construct a home. And then you have to get the ideas of what you want to look like, you want it to look like before you ever put a nail to the hammer. There's a lot of planning in creating the blueprint and the construction plans before you ever start the bricks and mortar process. You begin with the end in mind. And one of the challenges I see that we struggle with as realtors or in this real estate business is that we get caught up in the minutia of this many deals, this much money, and we're all about the business, and we forget that we really have to design a life. We have to design a balanced life. And we have to understand what that would look like. We have to dig within. So the power of visualization, like building a home, in the power of visualization, you can create anything in real life that you can imagine. So I'm going to challenge you guys and push you to dream, okay? I want you to be absolutely clear about this. You have to be absolutely clear about two things. Now, I want you to write this down, okay? This is very important. You have to know what you want. This is your intention. This is your vision. This is your dream. You have to know exactly what you want. You have to know it so well that you know when you've got it, when you close your eyes, you feel it. You can feel it. You can see it. Think about what you hear from Olympians. They know what it feels like before it ever happens. They know what it feels like to put that gold medal around their neck. They know what it feels like to hit their target before anybody else. They have to know it, and so do you. You cannot make your life happy and balanced if you cannot imagine what that would look like. So you have to get crystal clear and specific. Now, here's what I want to give you permission. You don't have to know right now, but starting that process of what it would look like and what it would feel like is where we're going to begin. Okay, now here's the number 2 thing. Write this down. You need to know why you want it. Passion is why. Your why is going to drive you to do things that you normally don't want to do. It's going to be the fuel to get you where you're going. Because in the minutia, love that word today, of getting a job done, there's a grind that, oh my gosh, I don't want to make another flippin' lead generation call. I don't want to hear another no. I don't want to do this. But when I understand and remind myself why I'm doing it, it gets easier. I'm going to do it anyway. Getting clarity on your vision takes time. So investing time in yourself and developing that plan is an ongoing process and project. And the tools need to be consistently reviewed with possible modification. They have to be reviewed daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and you need to be ready to adjust. It's okay. Now I want to share with you a problem. Many people pursue their dreams that they really have not generated themselves. They structure their lives to meet the expectations of others because they think that's what a successful realtor looks like. I have to do this many deals. Well, we might have to do that many deals to pay bills, but what do you want? But they build their business and their careers around a passion that just isn't burning inside them. People who allow others to define their dreams seldom achieve anything significant. Lacking an authentic sense of ownership, they give up easily when challenges arise. And so here's where you are right now. You have your own story. Our stories define us and they reveal what's important to us. They're filled with drama and hope and courage and laughter and sadness. We all have our story. And you know what the greatest thing is about our story? It's the fact that you get to write it. You get to change it. You get to modify it. You decide what is written and what is told long after you're gone. Now, have you thought about what you want your story to be? And let me phrase that a little differently. Have you thought about what you want your life to be? Now, as I mentioned before, some people believe that life just happens, but it doesn't. You're the author, you own your story, and you get to decide. So I want to share something with you. We're going to take a look at one of the first steps that I encourage everybody to look at. Now, in creating this balanced life, have you guys heard of a wheel of life? By show of hands, everybody just wave if you have your wheel of life. Absolutely. It's one of the greatest tools. This was paramount for me to learn. So I'm going to figure out how to get this to show up on here. This looks like a wheel. Okay. You can see it with the spokes. Anyway, I'm going to describe to you what I want you to do. We have just a couple of minutes and we're going to whip through these fast. Write these down really, really quick. Okay. There's 8 different topics. Personal growth. This is creating your whole life. Personal growth and learning. Number 2 is spiritual. Number 3 is business and career. Number 4 is finances. 5, health and fitness. 6 is fun and recreation. 7 is relationships. And number 8 is friends and family. Out beside each one of those, scale of 1 to 10, I want you to score, with 10 being perfect, each one of those topics. Where are you in your life? And I can send these out to you. I can send this out to you so you can and work with you on this. Okay, this is what my wheel looks like. This is what I want you to do. I want you to transfer this. This is like a wheel of life. Now, if all of these were on the same level, that would be a very smooth ride. But the way things are right now, it's a little bumpy. There's some areas that I really want to work on and improve. Some of my areas are great. Some of them, they need some love and some attention. And so it's all about putting the plan behind them. First, me understanding what is it about, here's one. I'll pick mine, finances. What is it about my finances that I want to improve? When you look at this list, I want you to find 3 areas that you drastically want to improve. Identify the most important one that would, if you were to change, would improve your life the most. Circle it. That's the one that we start with. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to break this down into pieces. There's no right or wrong answer, but we eat this elephant one bite at a time. The more clearly you define what you want and how to get it to the finest details, and you have a burning passion and understanding as to why you want it, the more likely you are to succeed in accomplishing that. Most importantly, be honest about what you want, not what you think everybody wants for you. Be honest about what you want. Now, if you don't have time to do this, or you don't want to do this because you have so many goals or you're busy, if you think that, then when are you actually going to have time to even accomplish it to begin with? Write this down. Nobody ever writes down a plan to become fat, broken, lazy. They don't need one. Where are you committing your time and energy, and who's helping you? Okay. Last thing I'm going to ask you to write down. We have just a couple minutes. Okay. My name is Sandi Odell. My cell number is 405-990-5566. I'm a coach. I can help. The first 3 people that text me, help me, help me define my goals, just text me right now. First 3 people get an hour-long free session with me. So go. And I want to thank everybody. I know this is just an abbreviated time, but I want to spark and kindle a fire in you guys to really get passionate and get on purpose about making this the best year ever, because you can do it. Now let's get started.
Well, hey, thank you so much, Sandy. Again, appreciate everyone. My phone is a little spotty, but thanks again, Sandy. Thanks, y'all. Have a great weekend, and let's have a great year. Thanks so much. Have a good day. Thanks.
You can do it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Bye.